Hi everyone, Sheehan here. That's what she said. This is my first live update. Just want to give a minute or two for anybody who's subscribing to join. I am very happy to be giving you this update from the guest room in my house that I was very blessed to have my father, my mother, my brothers, Zach and Josh, all rally together to help me get together so that someone would be able to stay home with me and help me when I got released from the hospital. As you know from my first videos, I was diagnosed with invasive breast cancer of the right breast and ductal carcinoma in situ of the left breast. I'm coming to you live now exactly, 6 days after being released from the hospital. I had my double mastectomy with immediate reconstruction done last Friday. They wound up keeping me in the hospital until Monday. The first 2 nights that I was there, I was lucky to have my dad stay with me. The following night, my mom came up and stayed. And I can't tell you how crucial it is to have a family member with you as you're in the hospital. It is not only comforting, but they are able to get up and go and talk to the nurses for you and also help with things that you aren't able to remember. Hi, Aunt Terry. Thank you for joining. I love you and I miss you. I wanted to come live now while I'm relatively pain-free-ish. It's been a little bit of a rough road since coming home. I've had a few setbacks. The first setback that occurred was an unexpected GI bleed. I was able to go to the GI doctor, and what they had to do was stop all of my ibuprofen and blood thinners. They also had me on Lovenox in the hospital, which is shots that go into your belly that are blood thinners. So once they stopped that and cleared that all out of my system, the GI bleed has subsided. However, when I went to go see the GI doctor, they had to lay me flat on my back and do an exam that we all know is not comfortable. And that did throw me for another pain loop. But I am happy to report that things are getting better. In addition to that, when I went to see the plastic surgeon during my follow-up, unfortunately she saw signs of a small infection. And I'm going to show that to you now, just so you know what it looks like. You'll see this red spot right here on my chest. And these are also the drains that are still in the right side. I should have warned you that there'll be a little bit of a graphic nature to this video for the sake of open sharing and also to show you that I'm healing very well, and I also want to share the reasons why. So I have 2 drains on the right side and 1 on the left. I'm hoping that when I get to go and see the surgeon this Thursday, that we'll at least be able to take 1, if not all, of the drains out. What we're looking for is less than 30 cc's of fluid being drained from each one within a 24-hour period of time. Then they'll be able to remove them. I also wanted to show you something that's kind of cool that my mom did earlier today, because I have been stuck in pajamas and it has not been very comfortable all of the time. So a cool idea that she came up with was to take one of my t-shirts and actually cut it. So I'm going to show you the back. See? So we were able to put the shirt on over a light summer dress, which is really comforting for me right now. Like I said, I'm tired of being in pajamas, and it also gets hot and sweaty, which makes you uncomfortable. The other super cute thing is having these little booties to put on. Now, one of my biggest concerns with having immediate reconstruction following my surgery was the chance of possible infection or rejection of the foreign body. So, before I went to have my surgery, I went and had a visit with a nutritionist, Janice Pinkings, who is just a fabulous nutritionist if you're in the area. But she gave me some vital advice that I'd like to share with you. Vitamin D, crucial to preventing breast cancer, and also if you have it, healing it. Vitamin C. What I want to tell you that I just learned is that not all vitamin C is created equally. And unfortunately, in this country, most of our vitamin C is outsourced from China or made in the US out of GMO corn, which is cheap. And the problem with that is that as females, our breast tissue is the most sensitive tissue in our body. And GMOs, pesticides, and plastics all mimic estrogen and can bind into our breast, potentially creating cancers. So I really wanted to let you know, be careful where you get your vitamin C from, and that it really does matter. Another thing that I wanted to talk to you about is something that happened while I was in the hospital. They gave me what they call your best friend, which is just this breathing machine that you blow into, and the goal is to keep this blue bar in between these two lines, just like this. Now, seems simple. However, after having such a dramatic surgery, your lungs really take a hit, and it really is painful to get your breath expanded. What I wanted to share with you was that I did not get a consult with respiratory therapy as you are supposed to get when you have these procedures. And as soon as I got out of the OR, the nurse said something to me that I already hit up to 2,000. And she said that this was the highest, the record that they've ever seen out of PACU. Now, for someone competitive like me, that bred a challenge into the mix that was actually not good for me, because not only was I overexerting my breath, the functionality of this was actually incorrect. The higher you raise the lever, the harder it is to inspire. So, I should have had this lever all the way down here and realized there's no winning. There's no, gold trophy after doing this the correct way. The important thing is that you do it 10 times an hour, every hour. The next thing I wanted to talk to you about is how important it is to have your family around, because they give you so much information and it's nearly impossible to remember everything. Then on top of it, sometimes you actually get the wrong information, such as my drain record. We were following the instructions and we did it the way that we thought we were supposed to. However, when I went to my follow-up appointment with the surgeon, it was not the way that she wanted it done. And she then had me start from scratch, which is okay. Everything is the way it's meant to be, but it made me feel like I did something wrong. And it also triggered that perfectionism. I'm not doing things right or good enough. And there's no time for that when it comes to recovery. Everybody recovers at their own time. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is just a few things that are very useful. When you're in the hospital, I took my John of God crystal with me, and also this prayer blanket that my work gave me. And just being wrapped in their blessings and prayers was just healing in and of itself. I also am happy that I began to share my story before I went into this major surgery. It was one of the greatest things that I could possibly have done, because receiving all of the support, love, and prayers has really helped carry me through, particularly in the times that I'm having trouble with pain or with my mind just worrying about the worst case scenario. Ain't nobody got time for that either. Let's see. Lastly, nutrition, nutrition, nutrition. I thank God that I have my mom, my brothers Zach, Josh, Jeremy, my father, and his wife, who have all rallied together to provide the appropriate nutrition that I need to heal in this week. They've been making me goat's whey smoothies and adding organic raspberries or blackberries. And then in the morning, they've been cooking me really good eggs and gluten-free toast. And really, what the doctors have told me right now is that now is not the time to be dieting. It is the time to be eating, and eating as much protein as possible. I personally don't digest animal protein well, so in advance I had bought digestive enzymes that does help me do that. And I've been so blessed to have many friends stop by with soup and different dishes that they have cooked for me. I don't want this video to go too long, but I just wanted to check in, give you a couple of tips. I'm sure there's many more that I'm going to be coming up with as I get through this, but I want to say thank you to my family, to my friends, to my spiritual circle, Michael Meerdad, and friends of Michael Meerdad, and all of those at Unity of Sedona. I'm just so grateful for all your blessings and prayers and your continued support and solidarity with me. I know that God has a purpose for this, and I just pray to be able to serve Him and all of you to the best of my ability when I get through the other side of this. I love you. I'll see you soon. That's what she said. I think I'm still live. It'd be funny if I knew how to turn this off. Okay, there we go. Now goodbye for real. Love you. Mwah.